Hi, boys and girls. This is Ms. Kathy. I'm so happy you've joined me today for another story just for you. Marcia's Magic Violin by Fannie A. Smith. It isn't much fun to practice, Marcia said as she put her violin in its case. What good does it do anyway? No one cares to listen to me playing. The other children are running around having a good time outside, and I have to come in after school every day and just practice. Marcia didn't realize that she was talking out loud. Mother came in just then and said, "Are you through practicing for today, dear? You really are getting your piece well. How much can you play by memory now?" "I played it all today several times and some yesterday. Do you think I'll have it for the recital, Mother? It's only a little over 3 weeks away." "Oh, yes, it sounded very good today, much improved." Marcia felt better after that and said, "You'll help me when you can, won't you? I want it perfect." "Yes, of course. We'll begin really working on it tomorrow. It is the prettiest piece you've had, and I enjoy accompanying you on the piano. Now you may rest until supper time, or go out and play with the children." Marcia ran happily across the street to play with Dorothy, her best friend, who was trying out her new croquet set. School and practicing kept Marcia busy all the next week. Soon it was lesson day again, and that meant a trip to Hollywood to her teacher's studio. Mr. Curtis, the teacher, had telephoned to say that a crew was working on one of the main roads near Hollywood, and there would be several miles of detour. Knowing this, Mother and Marcia started early and hoped they would reach the studio on time. When they came to the detour, they saw that there was a bad traffic jam. Working people were going home at that hour, and as Marcia and her mother drove along, the jam got worse and worse. Sometimes they didn't move for 10 minutes or so, and then only a very little bit. Nearly everyone was getting irritable and impatient. Horns honked all around them, on left and right, in front and back. The noise only made the situation more stressful. Mother said, if they would only be more patient, it would be so much better. "Mother," Marcia said thoughtfully, "haven't I heard somewhere that there's magic in music, and that sometimes it calms people when they're angry and upset?" "Yes, I've heard that too, and I believe it does," Mother replied. Marcia was all excited. She had just thought of something. "Do you suppose there could be any magic in my violin if I played something? Do you think anyone would listen? Shall I try it? What shall I play?" While she was taking the violin out of the case and waiting for the next stopping place, she said, "I believe I can play all of the mazurka by memory now, and it would give me good practice for the recital. Do you think I dare?" "Yes, dear, it would be very nice if you did. Forget yourself and think only of your violin and how pleased the people will be. We can ask the Lord to help us when we're doing something that will help others and please Him." Marcia always had a hard time playing in public and felt shaky and scared, but she tuned her violin carefully, and when there was another stop in the traffic, Mother opened the door. Marcia stepped out beside the car. She had just room enough to stand and draw her bow across the strings. All was noise and confusion, but she began her piece with long, sweeping bows as her teacher had taught her. Windows and car doors opened wide, and people leaned out as far as they could. Frowns turned to smiles. The girl's nimble fingers flew. Sometimes her bow was bouncing, and her long blonde curls bounced too. Her lips were slightly parted in a smile, and her eyes and cheeks were all aglow with excitement. She made a charming picture. She felt glad now that she had practiced her scales, and the different kinds of bowing seemed easy. It was fun, now that she could do it right. She played as she had never played before. The happy faces all around her were thanks enough. When she finished, there was a hearty burst of applause from the cars around her. The people clapped and waved and called, "Thank you, thank you!" She smiled and bowed and waved back. They were still waving and smiling as they turned off the detour onto the highway again. "Oh," Marcia said breathlessly, "that was fun, Mother, and I wasn't a bit scared. I believe they liked it, and it wasn't hard at all. I'm glad I practiced it so it's easy now." In the years that followed, Marcia became a good violinist and was glad she had practiced when she was young. She found that people loved to hear her play, especially at programs at church, school, and rest homes. She remembered her teacher's advice to forget herself and use her talent to bring pleasure to others. And she never forgot the time when, at the age of 11, she played for a large and appreciative audience on the detour road to Hollywood.
The story you have heard today is from Guide's Greatest Stories, written by various authors and compiled by Randy Fischel, and used with permission from the Pacific Press Publishing Association. If you're interested in any other books published by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, please visit AdventistBookCenter.com or call 1-800-765-6955.
This podcast is a production of the Carolina Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.